Hi writers, it's Megan Barnhart here. It is day 8 of my first NaNoWriMo and I am really excited. I feel like I finally got my groove back. Why? Because I totally ignored what it might seem like is the obvious thing to do when writing a novel and went with my gut and went with what I am always telling authors to do, but was having a hard time listening to myself. I know, right? We all do this, like, do what I say, not what I do. So what you might think is the best way to proceed when writing a novel is to write one chapter after the next. And I know for a lot of you that works. But even after I got myself out of feeling like I was in the grind, even after I used my best strategies to rekindle my excitement, I knew I still wasn't following my own best advice. Because really, my own best advice is just to write the next thing I'm excited about. So how do I do this? Well, my writing plan for today, as every day, was to write 2,000 words. And the 2,000 words I said I was going to write, like in my writing planner, were the next chapter, chapter 9. I was like, I really don't want to do that. This was going to be a tell. If you watched yesterday's video, you saw I was like, oh, I'm getting, everything is getting kind of protracted. Like it's taking way too long for the things to develop. That means it's time to do a tell. I didn't feel excited about writing a tell today. And here's the reality. A tell is a bridge, right? A tell is like a transition from one scene to the next. How did I get from this exciting place to that exciting place? I'm going to go back and write that bridge once I have both endpoints for it. It's a lot easier to write a bridge when you know the two things that it's bridging. So what I did instead was I grabbed Recipe for Drafting. I went to the free write section. Now here's the thing. If you're like, oh, but free writes, Megan, I'm trying to write a novel. Like, I'm not just trying to write. Here's the thing. I'm super, super sneaky. Every single free write that is in the appendix of this book and that's in the earlier parts is designed to give you material that you will probably be able to use in your novel. Sorry, I'm like yelling because I'm so excited. But they're topics that are things you want to cover. So all of these free write topics, they're things I've used directly with authors and with myself to spark the kind of scene that is likely to be the kind of scene you want to have in your novel. So there it is. That is my biggest secret. So I know that when I choose any topic from the free writing section, from the appendix, I'm not just going to learn something more about my characters or my setting or my conflict. I'm very likely going to get material I can use. Now, I'm not always sure where I'll be able to use it. And when I did a free write on day 4, I just kind of stuck it into a storage section. I'm not sure where it goes yet. But that's okay. I know that the insights that are in it and the material that's there will belong somewhere. So I'm looking through and I'm like, oh, probably a conflict free write, because I know I want to just stay with trying to develop the story. So I don't want to choose a setting. I don't want to go deep into a character. I'm like, something related to the central conflict. And my eye falls on, why would she do that? All of a sudden, I'm like, oh, this is going to be the scene where Ephigenia sees the girl who was the thief from the train and is like, oh no, that girl stole. She got me in trouble. I'm going to go after her. And then big twist, big surprise unfolds from there. So I ended up writing that scene, and it's chapter length. I got through what felt like a good ending place for the chapter. And then I even felt like something new was starting. So what I did when I was just writing in my 750 words was at the point where it felt like it was done. I just wrote new chapter, and when I pasted things in, I put the first part in what is chapter 10, and then just started a little mini chapter 11, and it's only a few paragraphs long. The reason I did that, though, is because there was this open loop to end at. It was this moment of tension, and I thought, oh, that's a great chapter ender where she thinks somebody's after her and she's going to turn around and it's the stray dog. Wah, wah. It's middle grade novel. It's okay for something that cheesy to happen. And who knows if it will stay in the edits. But for now, I was like, oh, that's a really cool place to end the chapter. The bad guy she just was spying on could be right behind her. So what happened to my chapter 9? So far, nothing. My chapter 9 is the tell chapter that's between chapters 8 and my new chapter 10. I'll go back and write that at some point. I'm not sure when. I don't know. I might not tackle it tomorrow. In fact, that's not my plan. My plan for tomorrow is to do 2,000 words and another free write that speaks to me. And I'm feeling my mojo coming back, getting stronger. I mean, here it is, day 8. My total word count right now is at 20,725. I mean, this is really getting to be, you know, longer than, it's already longer than any fiction I've written. It's now on par with, you know, some of the nonfiction I've written. The longest book I've ever written is 30,000 words. So I'm getting up there, but instead of feeling more and more inertia, which was what I was feeling like around day 4 and day 5, I'm feeling more and more energy. So I'm going to keep going this way. I know, again, that like just choosing these free writes is keeping me energized, but I also know that choosing them is giving me material that I'm going to be able to use. Now, the reason I'm able to do this is because my major plot points are mapped out in my outline, in my planning doc. I have done the work. I've put in the time to get the shape of my story. I know my characters' arcs. I know what my main character needs to learn. I've got like a sense of what's going to happen in the climactic scene. I know how it's all going to end. So within that framework, I have all of this freedom and all this flexibility to just grab free writes that appeal to me and get down words that are really fun to write. I wrote for a little bit less than an hour today, got out 2,063 words. I feel really good about that. And I didn't get a chance to do my writing until later in the day. I started at about 4 p.m., which would normally be the time my brain kind of turns to jelly, and I'm not ready for hard work, but I was ready for fun work. All right. That's the update for today. Basically, in a nutshell, free write, like outline first and then free write, and choose your free writes that have been strategically designed from, for example, a book like Recipe for Drafting, or, you know, whatever resource you like to use. Get free writes that are strategically designed to get you to write scenes that you'll likely be able to use. So if you've got a favorite free writing source, awesome. In fact, I'd love to know about it. Leave it in the comments. If there's a place where you get your best free writing ideas, please, let's throw that into the mix so people can get great ideas from multiple sources, because that's what makes it work. We all have different points of inspiration. There will be different activities and exercises that work for you. But if you're one of those people who's like, free writing, you know, I don't have the energy to spare. You know, I'm trying to write a novel here, Megan. I don't have the energy to spare on like, oh, I want to do this thought experiment. That's not what I'm all about. I'm all about just giving you a free write. I'm just like, oh, free writing. That really is totally a Jedi mind trick to get you to write a scene in your novel, but to do it in a way that doesn't feel like it has any pressure to it. So there it is in a nutshell. That is the secret of writing coaching with me. Okay, I hope you found that helpful, and I look forward to hearing your comments below. Happy writing.